call the meeting. Who wants to run it since Mona's she's the vice chair and she's not here, so
Don't fucking look at me.
all you need to do is just follow this. It's pretty simple.
I can read.
Time you learn how if you've never done. I've done.
Southern
Stupid.
California,
It
it was
was
nice,
nice.
it's
Who would live
97
here?
degrees, it was beautiful. Buy one day.
It's nuts.
Boy, this is.
I just went to the
We're all
Midwest.
a little bit
It's
crazy,
actually
aren't we?
worse there than here.
I don't know about
okay?
that. I don't know
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Hey, I
And
was,
they got mosquitoes. At least we got mosquitoes.
2 years,
bad
2
down
years
there.
ago, I went to Florida over 4th of July.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I
gross,
was gonna
dude.
die. It was
It's
105 degrees.
I know,
and-
it's
and,
only like
and a
88.
freaking hurricane was coming in
Oh,
that
God.
night.
It's humid.
50% humidity.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was the Elks
Yeah.
convention. It was,
No thanks.
I didn't have any, we had to put on white coat dinner and went to a white coat dinner and stood around and walked across the street. till I
This
thought I'd
meeting
die
is
in that
being
100
recorded.
yards. Oh, shit.
God, why are you so aggressive?
She is a little.
Here's the rules in case you don't know. You can get
Oh,
started.
good. I'll just skim
Life's
through that
rules,
real
yeah.
quick.
He spun through it, he's good.
He's good. He said.
You have no idea how complicated that gets.
Okay,
You couldn't possibly run a meeting if you went by that.
Is that right?
Boy.
we are live.
Okay.
So yeah, just call the meeting to order, say the time, and
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting in order today at 5:24 p.m. on the 24th of July.
then roll call of committee.
Do we have everyone here? Let's see. Hopefully there's names. 'Cause-
No.
Just say,
No,
can you get
say
the roll call?
roll call.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Sure. Chairman Robinson, absent. Vice Chair Duran, absent. Member Merritt,
Here.
Member Cornelius, Member Parker.
Here.
Member McMahon. And Member Rodriguez is absent as well.
Pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Read it out loud.
Chairman's announcement.
Just read that out loud, Byron.
Okay. Please turn off all electronic devices during the meeting.
Refrain from smoking.
Yes, if you need to smoke, please smoke outside. Okay.
Call to the public.
We don't often have a call.
You should do that.
Yeah, there was
no
no call to
Always, there's
public
no
presented
public,
to the
right?
clerk.
I was living. I was like. I was. Yeah. I
You
didn't
have
know
to
what
learn
to do.
somehow.
Yeah, I was loving
So
it.
then we just talk about,
Lions Club
So
that
you
way.
just say.
Old business.
Traffic updates,
Yeah.
Steve?
okay? Steve, can you please give us some
Okay.
updates?
Updates, so we just, put our, 23, 24 capital budget, to town council for, it was adopted tentatively on, what's that?
The 11th, yes.
July 11th, so we have until August
15th?
15th, it'll be, can only go down from there, so council can, if they choose to, take a project down or reduce a project or whatever, at that, meeting on the 15th. Up until then, it just basically, we're just in limbo, but there's been no indication to me that the projects are gonna be, cut. Everything that we put in there for this year will be on Hopi Avenue. There is catch basins that we need to install. It was a part of our project, let's see, 2016, 17, if you recall, when we redid those two streets, Hopi and Geronimo, that big project, when we repaved all those streets. Well, we put all the storm drain system, made the connections with the piping
Right.
underneath. But due to the cost of the entire project, overall, it was like $1.2 million project. It was a big project. We actually had to pull the final step of that process, which is the catch basin itself. So those are in the project just along Hopi. There's 7 of them. And then the big project is, as you know, when we, last fiscal year, I should say, we had the engineers do some design work for 16th and 17th from Joshua at those corners, basically from California all the way to Kofa. So we have those storm drain issues where that water collects in those two intersections on Joshua and doesn't drain off and just leaves, water across the entire, basically corner or intersection. So the new design is going to be converting those into inverted streets and do valley gutters. Basically, it'll start there just off of Joshua and 16th, and it'll go to 17th Street. And then from 17th Street, it's actually going to go towards Kofa. And then there's some additional valley gutters. It's going to be on 16th, starting over there off of Kofa, 16th and Kofa, and go towards 17th, and then kind of go to the side, and then to finish off, it's going to connect another section of valley gutter on Kofa to connect to the existing on 18th Street. In addition, on 18th Street, a valley gutter, all this is going to connect 17th and Joshua to 18th, and then from 18th and Joshua to the existing, which is at Kofa. So if you've driven down 18th enough times, the valley gutter starts at Kofa, basically at the high school. So this will take it up one street further. Essentially, the only area that we have the ability to drain off all the water from that side of town is to that retention basin down 18th Street.
There's more
So
load on that.
That's what the engineers had to do. It's gonna be a pretty good challenge. I do have the pricing from Sunlawn Asphalt. They'll be the contractor that we've been using the last 5 years on all these projects. So it's a $1.1 million project that's in the budget for that. So like I said, council has the ability to cut, but so far they're following what we're asking for, and hopefully everything gets approved on the 15th of August.
What about those, like 16th Street from Joshua to the highway?
Yes, and so part of the new paving is gonna include everything back to
It'll
California.
include that also,
Correct.
16th, 17th, and 18th?
Our big problem.
Not 18th, 16th and
16th and
17th for sure. Because most of the work is gonna be in that area. I didn't include 18th Street, except for the valley gutter and that portion of paving, but we will get 18th here in the near future. We'll add that to one of these other projects that we're doing that you guys have scoped out as far as the next project. So we'll lump that in at some point. But yes, it does include everything back to California Ave. And those are essentially the two projects. Because of the cost of that one being so expensive, I don't have any preservation, meaning I don't have any fog seals or slurry seals or chip seals.
We used to have a council liaison that would explain stuff like this too, because like I would have voted differently about the money usage than I don't know. It never went for us about those. That never was nothing for
Well,
this committee.
it-
None of our opinions were asked about that one.
That particular project was in the 22-23 budget for engineering. And if you recall, when I spoke to this committee about putting it in the budget, the plan was obviously, once we get the plans developed, to go move forward with that project. The reason why this is such a high priority project is because those are the highest traffic areas in town. Now, they might not be the highest, the worst roads in town, but as far as a water collection point now, that is the worst locations in town, and those roads are certainly need to be redone. The District 9 over here, Courts,
34th,
Mokilteo,
3rd, 4th, and
4th,
5th,
5th, and
and
6th, down over here, that section of town, yes, that is on the next highest on the list, and so those will be done. But the reason why I suggested to go after those is because of the traffic
Over
volume.
there, it needs it.
Yeah.
Right.
Over there, it
Right.
needs it. I was talking about the retention basins.
Oh, no.
I've never.
Well,
Those
these-
kind of
these-
popped in, those kind of just popped
Yeah, but they're
in.
done.
Yeah.
That road has, we haven't had, I've never had anyone complain to me that they're flooding out on frickin' Hopi yet.
No.
I mean, we got a boat place there. They're
So-
not paddling out in the boats yet.
Well,
No, but like he's saying, just tying it in was
We
part
haven't
of
had
the,
any
part of
rain.
the project that didn't get finished. So
we,
it's-
we haven't had any rain in that
But
area.
if
We
you-
ever
we
get
haven't
a
had no
good
rain.
rainstorm, then we'll find out.
Yeah, right?
No rain, so no, we haven't done any preservations
And
on
I
the road.
appreciate your point, Jim, because here's the, it's been on my to-do list for many years. And yes, I totally agree with you that that wasn't kind of what we had talked about. This actually came from higher up.
There you go, there you
this-
go.
This came from
Mayor.
higher up.
There you
Said,
go.
said he wanted the basins in,
so-
so we
We've
got the
been told.
basins.
Yeah.
How that got in there.
There you go.
Um,
Now the picture's
How-
painted.
how was
Oh,
that
don't-
boat
I always
place?
accuse Danny of that.
Yeah,
and I'm
so
like,
just know
Beaver
that's
don't
not
do
something
that.
that this committee talked about or I talked about.
Right.
Because, but it has been on my to-do list and I
Right.
was gonna get to it eventually. We just obviously have some other really bad areas in town that we know.
And then the maintenance problem, not being able to do any of your chip seals and everything, that's just gonna increase, because then when we
Yes.
come up next year, we've got twice as many we need to do.
Yeah.
And like, I thought we had like
But
made
we're
it
gonna
to.
spend it over here in these houses.
Yeah,
over there.
no, on the big capital projects, but I always thought our understanding was that like the base maintenance was always gonna be maintained,
That should-
like,
this should be-
because like we were supposed to be on a schedule because we had just redone Joshua over here. I mean, I'm like sitting here 13 years, like I'm saying, there's been a lot of faces here, but we were supposed to stay on schedule as we built these new roads, come back in and do our maintenance on them, and then a lot of these aren't getting it, and now you're getting potholes in front of businesses that are popping up, and you guys can't keep up with patching them all the time. And it makes me wonder if, like, is
Maintenance.
avoiding maintenance,
Yeah.
like, we can't do
Well,
that too many years
yes,
in a row,
yes,
because
you're-
that got us into where we're at now.
True.
Yes,
that's
so
exactly
skipping,
what got
skipping
us
one
in there.
year is not gonna hurt us tremendously, across the board. So we will get back to preservation again next year. We're taking a little bit of a different approach on preservation now too. So we're not gonna just jump to the chip seals. There's some different techniques and different applications that I'm actually gonna be looking into that.
This stuff always changes.
Will be more cost effective to get us more bang for our buck. But yes, you're right. I don't like skipping preservation. So for a long time, we went away from preservation. That's why we have the conditions of the roads that they are right now.
That's all I was worried about.
But in general, yes, for this particular year, just so we can get that one done, we have to spend
And I see, I've all,
quite a bit of money.
Tell us about the street
that water's
sweepers.
horrible over
Tell
there.
us about the street sweeper.
Sweeper
Amen.
arrived about a month ago, but 3 weeks ago. The staff had training last week. So what Fred will do, he'll go out and he'll be the first one kind of to get it all dialed in and set up for staff to use, and then he'll take staff out one at a time to train them. We did have training from the actual dealer, but it's different than what he does. So he goes through and he'll run it to give the best, I guess, course of action when on setup and on driving. It's a different machine compared to the big Broom Bear that we had. All the staff was trained on it. It doesn't require a CDL to operate. That's why we purchased it mainly. It's a different type of system in which it doesn't have a bunch of mechanical elevators transferring the debris from the ground into the hopper. It uses basically air and forces air down onto the pavement, and then it's funneled to a system that acts as a vacuum, and it sucks it up into the hopper. So it's a totally different type of system, less mechanical issues is one of the reasons why we wanted to go in this direction.
Our streets. I know, right? At the end
So
of the day.
Fred is busy doing that. So you'll see him out using it during the day and getting things dialed in on the streets and stuff. So you'll see him first, and then we'll start to train the staff. And obviously, we haven't picked up any debris in over a year on the streets, and so that's why
Yep.
Yeah, it'll probably, how long is it gonna take to get all the streets in town one pass
Oh,
on
he
them?
could get it done in a week, no problem.
Could he really?
Oh, yeah.
Is that efficient?
Yeah.
How noisy is this thing? Is this thing a screaming jet engine vacuum thing, or is it?
It's probably similar to your other
Okay.
sweepers that you've.
You can
I'm
go
sure-
by at
yeah,
night with
yeah,
it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So you'll see stuff during the day, but that way, he can train staff during the day on certain operations and get things dialed in, but then, obviously, for the most part, this is a nighttime operation, like you were saying, so you'll see staff out there on a regular basis. We'll get
so you'd
back.
be able to run it at night without
Yeah,
getting
we'll
too many
get back to the
complaints?
monthly, routine of doing it once a month, and so that's
Okay,
always been the
good.
practice of doing all the streets once a month. It typically takes, 4 to 5 days to get the whole town done. In a situation like this, where we have all this debris built up over a year, it will take a little bit more time, just so he can do it, so it might take him 5 days to get the whole thing done. But usually by day 4, with our old sweeper, you know, he was done. He could do the whole town in 4 days and not have any issues.
Okay, what about storm debris? When we do get these summer monsoons, we get a lot of stuff in the streets. Is it capable of picking that, just take,
Yes.
where do you dump it at?
It has a hose, so we did get the attachment on it, so we'll be able to pull off a catch basin and
With a
actually
vacuum,
turn that
yeah.
thing on and actually use it to actually generate some vacuum and suction and suck out the storm drains.
Suck out storm
It's like a
drain?
ditch witch kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, I mean, but I mean, as far as just all the mud and everything in the street,
Or do you dispense
you know,
it?
does it,
Yeah.
this
The
thing,
dude
how
with the
big a
shovel.
catch basin, I mean, how big of a debris?
How big's the hopper?
Hopper.
I'd have to get that information for you. I don't know. off
So
the
I
top of
mean,
my
so you
head.
probably have to, how do you dump it? I mean, where do you dump it and how do you?
We
can you just
dump it
take
at our spoil pile over at the town yard. We have a spoil pile over there.
Then you just load a dump truck every now and then and haul it off?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So over here, because I know when it really rains,
Mhm.
like Navajo down there by my house, these streets get a lot of mud in them.
Yeah, so just
fill it up
remember,
pretty
so
quick.
street sweepers use water when they're sweeping.
Okay.
So it's a part of pretty much all sweepers is.
I'm just
is-
talking about the amount of debris that gets washed into the
Yeah,
street.
in this case, once we get the whole town back to the kind of the normal state, he might dump it, a couple times a night. It just depends on the month. And, if we have a lot of wind events and debris all over the roads and sand and blow sand and all that stuff, so it just kind of depends month to month.
I think the
what-
water is more
what
for
goes
dust
out there.
control than it is.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Water
that's
is
like-
used
that's all it is.
in the
Dust
process
control.
for
Yeah.
dust control and to actually help with the actual brooms to get those down into the asphalt and into your gutter. So it helps with actually loosening all that stuff up.
Sounds like you did your due diligence picking out a machine that would actually do
And
it.
it's collective effort, so it wasn't just a whim type of purchase. It was like, all right, we want to get something that's gonna last and give everyone the ability to drive. And that was really the main things. And we wanted to get away from a system that didn't have so much maintenance to it. And this is that type of system.
No CDL.
No CDL.
CDL.
But yeah, you guys will be seeing it. They were out there running it last week after training, so
I missed it.
he's getting it dialed in.
I was in.
Outside of that, right now, we're finishing up with we started doing the annual painting, striping, school zones. So you probably saw staff out there if you were driving around, 16th and 17th area, school zone. Also over here at Blake. I believe they've done the majority of the crosswalks on the school paths to school. So I think we're getting close to getting all that finished up. And the next thing on the list, I think, is they're going to be working on California and Riverside Drive trimming palm trees. So I know some of those are pretty well overgrown.
We don't do the sidewalks on 95, but there was a huge bubble up in the sidewalk It's got cones around it, in between Jack in the Box and Safeway.
Yeah, so that's outside town
Yeah.
limits.
Okay, and that's,
So the ones that have come up in the past, yes, we actually have let ADOT know, and they actually hired a contractor to come out, and they fixed several, I guess this
I had to
was
help an old
about
man in a wheelchair over it today.
Yeah,
And I was so,
yeah,
I
that
felt
one is
so
really bad.
I was at Jack in the Box with my son, and I was like, dude, this guy can't make it.
Yeah, that one is
So I had
really
to-
bad.
Yeah, and then he couldn't even go off into the dirt because the dirt's soft right there. And I was like, man, if we could lay down a piece of plywood, even, you know, an old street sign or something that could at least, someone could get around, you know, I ain't gonna be there for the next time a cat goes through the, you know, and I was like, that felt bad. But
I'll call, I don't know if Crit's gonna take care of that, so I'll
I
call
hear the
ADOT.
Safeway Expressway is back open.
I heard that too.
really, the back
Yeah,
road?
rumor on Facebook, they blew that open.
Oh, wow.
They what?
I use it anyways. I just
Yeah,
have
I
a
know.
big truck. I like.
Yeah,
pushing
go
it
off road, man.
I do.
Amen.
It's time to
Yeah.
kid
The
laugh.
back road into the Safeway parking lot, the Safeway Plaza.
They
That was
blocked
the
it off.
Great.
Oh, they did, they
Event
talked about
center?
that a year or two ago. They were gonna close all that off. That
Well,
old-
They
did.
did close it off, but now it's supposedly open again.
Supposedly open.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Too many people use that back road.
Duh, I know.
I don't know. You gotta have a place to have events, man.
Probably
That's
got
all
enough-
I got, guys. You guys have anything for me?
No, done, thank you.
What's up with the parade?
We're gonna
Well-
table
Months.
that. We're gonna table that till the next discussion. Is that
No, you
correct?
guys can get started.
No.
No. Oh.
So, since it's just just you guys, things to think about.
It's a very dim.
Are we
Just
still?
you guys.
Just you.
Are we still live?
Yeah.
situation.
Since it's just you guys, just things to think about for the next meeting. Grand Marshal,
Yeah.
and announcer.
We
I'd
need to
like
elect these people?
Well,
We
we,
have
Find
to
them?
invite them.
yeah,
and-
we
and
invite
try
them
and-
to,
Oh.
yeah,
So if you know any good service member, I already use Scotty Gallon, so you guys can't do
I was gonna
that.
say, right?
He's gone now, isn't he?
I don't even.
He
What
moved
happened to
out- They
him?
moved out of the area.
Yeah, he
Did he?
moved.
I'm not allowed to pay.
Smart man.
I think so.
But
They
yeah.
sold their home and they're gone
Wow.
several years ago.
I was just
I
thinking
would,
of him the
I
other
would
day.
say if anybody goes and does a VFW or something.
Oh, great.
Yes.
We always have Randy.
Are you guys good with Randy? I'll have him pencil it in
Sure.
if we're all
For
good with
announcer?
that. for
I'm sure he's
announcing.
he'll be available for it, I'm sure.
Well, you got the mayor.
I'm gonna
you've
be good
got,
for the elections.
You've got Jimmy Beaver, and then you've got,
No.
Oh, Jimmy Beaver, holy mackerel, talk about an announcer, yes. I forgot about him.
Fabe?
Who?
Fabian, I like
Oh, Fabian.
so
yeah.
between those three, those are kind of your announcers in town that are all fantastic. I know, obviously, you guys know Jimmy Beaver's done the event for us before. The mayor's done the
Has-
event for
ooh,
us before.
Yes, I got a good
So-
question.
Just
Something
relax.
you guys need to decide as a committee in which direction you guys want to go.
Have we been approached yet by any of these racing organizations about activities for the town or anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
they've been asking about,
Stuff and things.
like, I'm,
The streets and traffic.
Do we have
law?
any insider information that we might be able to divulge
Traffic law do
on this
something
issue here
special?
today?
no, I mean, like, is there any talks of, like, they want to start racing from the town again or anything like that? Anything came up? Is any of them talk? I don't know. I'm wondering.
It's all being discussed, and we're working with both racer organizations on both races, on all the races, I should say.
We're not sure of the logistics of
Yeah, I'm
start,
sure glad- I'm
stop,
sure
all
glad
of that kind
somebody's
of stuff
bringing-
yet.
Keep in
Depends.
mind, too,
Lots of people in that little pot, so.
Yeah,
keep
if
in
they're
mind
using
you got
tribal
other-
land and whatnot. yeah,
Other people have control over
A lot more, yeah.
stuff that happens on those races.
You've got ADOT.
I'll
you
just say
have
that politically.
Yes.
ADOT, CRIT, yeah, there's a lot of entities in the
Yeah.
town, yeah, it's not just the town.
So they have, obviously,
race when the
they have to
turtles are
work with
asleep.
other entities
Seriously.
in addition to
But
the
that's their
town.
job, that's
But
why they
yes,
get the
have
big money,
been-
right?
We've had several meetings with both.
And you just kind of go along with what they tell me to do, right?
Well,
You have input
Smile
on
and
it?
wave,
I mean, you have to
boys.
have input on
Smile
it,
and wave.
have
on the
input.
mechanics of it,
We
but
do
not-
have input.
Yeah.
It's a lot of words that just lead to nowhere.
Oh, my
All
God.
right. I was just wondering if
You know,
we've
skirting
been
around
asked
the.
about-
Yeah, I applaud that ability.
So yes, announcer, you guys have choices. Grand Marshal, I don't know any, so
I don't go to the VFW
I mean,
ever, if anyone, so I mean, like, I don't.
I'm sure we can find, I'm sure the VFW will find somebody.
All mine are serving another battalion upstairs.
you know Josh, right?
Oh, yes.
So Josh, I think, would be a good person to ask because he has knowledge.
He will find somebody, yeah.
And the commander, so he's a good person to reach out to. Just a suggestion. I know Ronnie knows Josh, so I think he could come up with.
There's still plenty of the vets that now we're
How
into
do
the
they run
Vietnam vets are
VFW
the old
over there?
people.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh, yeah.
sergeant.
They are one, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
we're starting to
There's,
age out.
there's no
Could we
longer any
honor the
World War II
VFW?
vets. It's Vietnam,
Well, that's
Korea.
what it's about.
Well, I know, but could we honor the VFW itself and have like the commander from the upriver VFW and then our local VFW both, even the one from Baus, be on like a multiple parade and honor our veterans from the ones that are still serving?
Don't forget the 2 American Legions in the
Well,
area.
I mean, we can. How big's the damn trailer? You know, it just came to me. I was like, you know, and these guys are still guys that are still serving their
Yeah,
fellow
yeah.
troops now, and maybe it's nice
Yeah,
to
Josh is,
recognize
yeah.
them for what they're doing now again.
Good idea, Jim. Good idea.
Man,
What a
comes
guy.
every once in a while.
Nailed it.
But I don't know, because I don't know any good servicemen that around. You know, all my code talkers are gone. I mean, like, sadly, but it might be something to consider.
Okay.
I know there's a commander out in Baus, there's one here.
Mhm.
Do they even have one for the tribes? We can invite that one.
The
They-
American
Sharp,
American
do they-
Legion
I'm
has-
not
has-
sure.
You know, I
and
mean,
then-
it
then
would be
there's
something we
Salome.
might be
The
able
Salome
to,
has a VFW.
just honoring those of our guys that are
And,
still serving here.
You know, the
you know,
Legion,
serving
Big
us
River,
local.
I'm sure they,
you know?
I'm sure they would.
And we could even tie in that to the slogan. or
Legion in the Valley.
The valley?
Yeah, number 71 or something like that, very old Legion. Second 71 or something like that, very old.
But that gives us an out plan if we never can come up with anyone.
I kind of like that idea. I do too.
The tribes do,
Yeah, and have a couple of them, you know, hey, we just.
on that Saturday, on the Saturday of that, the tribes generally have a really that lasts for hours.
We always used to try
where
and
they
tie
honor
in
vets
our,
and hand-
yeah, we would try.
Every vet gets a blanket, I have one, and it's a
They
really
actually
good
were
deal.
pretty good with, that's like the only time I've seen members from the tribes come to any of our meetings was for the Veterans Day Parade.
Yeah.
To kind of square it up with what they had going on.
Oh,
So
wow.
that our timing was like after the parade, we had like an hour till festivities started over there at the casino. It was really cool. And COVID kind of killed that, you know, but it would be nice to
They did it last year. They did
invite
it at the
other
casino last year, I
communities, you
believe.
know, or whatever.
That's why we adjusted the time of the parade was to make
To
sure
help
that
them,
everybody
yeah.
because the color guard was the tribal color guard.
Right.
So we'll do that again to make sure that we're not conflicting with that over there.
So Veterans Day is on the 11th.
Yeah, and that is a Saturday.
Is
My
a
wedding
Saturday.
day. That's my anniversary day.
That is a Saturday.
It is a Saturday.
The Elks have been planning for that, and,
Left for a reason.
you know, we're gonna be, the Elks will have a trailer in it. We will have something.
Okay. I mean, do we want to obviously have it on that day then, huh?
I already have it on the calendar.
Okay.
So that is the
It
day of
kinda
the
falls
parade,
for
that's,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
that is, I mean, that really works out one year out of, I don't know, 7.
Well, Veterans Day is actually Friday.
Friday.
No, Veterans Day's the 11th, isn't it?
This year it falls on the 10th.
Oh, okay. What? No, that's like a Veterans Day's on the 11th. That is Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is the 11th.
Veterans Day's on the 11th.
A substitute.
Veterans Day is Veterans Day.
10th is my Marine Corps birthday.
And,
I know that.
Well, I don't know what. Veterans Day substitute is what my calendar comes up with. The actual Veterans Day itself is on the 11th.
11th, yeah.
That is true Veterans Day. That's why the parade's on odd, around that date.
What did we have last time? Was it the Marine Corps band or who? Do we have? Did we invite someone like that once? What was it?
Don Sands used to be able to get the Marine Corps band out of 29 Palms for a People's Day parade. Do people remember that?
Remember that? I do.
That's when you were a little critter.
That was way long ago.
That's way back. My brother Dean, that brother Dean's idea. And then we had the
walked a
Balloon
few of
Fest.
those.
And boy, that was one of the 3 biggest parades in the state of Arizona. That was like 3rd or 4th biggest. You should have seen it. It'd take 2 hours for that parade to start down there at Coffee Urns and
Yeah.
walk to pass a
Yeah.
point and end up down there at Western Park.
Wow.
It
That
went
wa-
and
that's
went.
when there
It
wasn't
was-
much
it was a
traffic
parade.
rolling
We
through
had, we had the Shriners out here. We had like 3, 4, 5 Shriners
Little carts, I
outfits, the
remember.
little cars and a fire truck, ladder truck with this clown hanging off the back of the stuffed clown.
I drove old Bob Drew.
And the,
Studebaker
and then
through.
just everybody, and we had the Balloon Fest at the same time.
Whoa, bag of cocaine.
So do you guys want to reach out to Ronnie and let her know about your idea, or should we just follow
Next
up with
meeting,
an
we'll
email?
bring it up then. I don't know,
I'm not sure if you guys want to make that
getting a head
decision.
start on it this year, last year. we
Probably
didn't
need to
start
wait until we have all the girls
September.
involved. I don't want to step on toes. I've done that as a man before. Damn, that was off. Sorry.
You've been fined 1 Hershey's bar.
Yeah.
Hand it over.
Just hang it up.
Let me cut it
Johnny
back.
doesn't care.
Yeah, I think we
We'll
bring
play
these
with that.
ideas back to,
Alright.
back to the group next month, and then that way we can just really start moving on that.
So that's right, we had the parade early last year. It started at 8 o'clock, or started at 9 o'clock instead of normal 10 o'clock. That was so people could get over to the casino.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was nice to correlate with them. So yeah, most definitely.
I know the VFW in town talked about doing something after the parade. I don't know if they were still like at the park or
Mhm.
something, hot dogs. That was a long time
Well,
ago.
that would be a VFW event, but the tribes have theirs over there. I mean, I hope nobody tries to compete with them.
I think Josh had something planned last year.
Probably have a barbecue or something, or just anything to stir up business. That's the hard part now. Trying to keep the doors open.
Yeah.
I haven't been in there in weeks. Haven't been able to do it.
I'll bring a flyer for you guys to look at next month too. Maybe a couple options this year. Spruce things up a bit.
Sounds good.
Did we ever get anywhere on getting a liaison from the police department to sit in on these meetings?
No, but I didn't ask.
And I dropped the ball as well.
To get some,
I thought that was a good one to help.
I think it's a
'cause they're-
solid idea.
Yeah, they're the ones hitting the pavement more than any of us.
We're gonna have a PD chief is looking into having a PD liaison for the Parks and Rec, so they kind of know what's going on, for that as well, so, maybe it's just a person that can attend
It's fine.
as well. We're usually pretty quick in and out, so it's not a huge time.
Anything else, gents?
August 15th is that town council meeting? Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, for the adoption of the final budget.
August
Yeah.
15th.
August 15th.
What time is that?
Tuesday, August 15th at 6 p.m. Are we doing anything special that day? 6 p.m.
Oh, that's the day. That's right. I was tied up that day.
All right, so where are we at on this one now?
That's it.
You guys need to
Read the minutes.
Discussion of the
minutes.
process.
Read the minutes from last month for May.
and
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes.
who was here?
I was here.
Everybody was here.
Everyone
I
was here?
second the motion.
I spelled your name wrong, I'll fix that. You can't second because you weren't present, so just.
I wasn't here.
I'll second it.
weekend.
Yes.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Oh, yes.
Future topics, you guys, anything special you wanna talk about? But I can forget the most.
Political biasness in a small town. No. No.
That's not a street committee
I know.
meeting, but yes, I understand.
For the Hunter Biden section.
Not right now. I'm sure I could.
If you guys think of anything throughout the month, shoot me an email.
Okay.
Give me a call, hey Amy, let's put this on the agenda.
The ADOT thing though, because I really did
Yeah,
help
I'm gonna
someone on
talk to,
that one today.
I'll call them
Yeah.
and let them know. I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to our district area.
They know something,
supervisor.
someone knows something, because someone put some cones around it.
Yeah.
You
but-
know, there is, I do have, speaking of ADOT, that light in town. Every now and then it'll turn on, it will just stay a red light for people heading eastbound or south on 95.
Yeah.
And it won't, I mean, there's people, so there doesn't have to be anybody there when the light starts, and then people pile up there because it's a red light. That's a silly option. That really is a silly option.
I
It
agree.
should-
I second
It should
that.
be, why can't they go on through, you're going through the other way, why can't they go through that way?
I've reached out to ADOT about the lights and how
Lighting.
they have them operating, controlling. I don't have,
I've seen
I don't
dudes
have-
over
Just
there playing
hollering
with
down a
them.
well, right?
Don't have a
Just
lot
hollering
of
down a hole, there's
say-so
just
in the
nobody
matter.
there.
The only thing that gets ADOT to move on
But pizza
situations
Hut,
like
corner,
that,
yeah.
if it causes accidents.
Right.
For instance, 11th and Cal, that's why we had them hash out that area, because we have a large amount of accidents in that intersection right there at 11th.
Right.
And so I told them, I said, put a hash there and put the signage up to say, do not block the intersection, because we're always having accidents there. And it's helped. So if there's no accidents involved, you know, my words basically go, I mean, not to say that they go unheard, but it's just one of those things. If there's not something to back it up, you know, with, say, hey,
Well,
this is.
somebody came up with that lame idea, they can just undo it.
I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing.
Because I've been stuck at that light for no reason.
Have you got any feedback on the new stop signs?
I haven't stopped yet.
No,
What stop sign?
I haven't been made aware of any complaints. Have you heard of anything?
No?
I was almost.
All
gonna say
positive.
that.
Just more stop
I'm
signs.
still
I hate
waiting for
stop
one on
signs
my
if they're
intersection. I got
necessary.
kids walking by all in the mornings every morning.
The other one that the council approved at 18th and Ocotillo, we're gonna get that one marked out, and staff is gonna begin to put those stop signs up here in the next month.
'Cause I don't know.
Which way, stop Ocotillo or stop 18th? Or
It's gonna
three-way?
be stop both sides.
Three-way stop.
Four-way.
Yeah, it'll be a three-way stop.
Yeah,
Kinda,
after
kinda
after foot-
four-way-ish
after football
because of,
games and that,
because
well, I've
the
been through
outlet
there,
from
man.
from the high school, we'll probably ask them to help out. We even thought about them putting in like a speed bump there, right there at their gate. So when people come out of that,
But a yield sign?
yeah, so people don't come, blazing out of there. Because it's mostly, it's mostly sports folks and who are, leaving from practice or whatever coming out of there. But we'll see how it goes with the addition of the other two stop
So
signs. and
you're
making it
gonna put
three-way.
a stop sign in, will it would be a four-way stop then for one coming out
No,
of
I'm
the
just,
gate?
I'm just saying, we're not gonna go that far yet.
Okay.
We're gonna see how this works. But the complaint came from the homeowner there, right there on the corner, and so that's why this is being done. And it went to council, and council approved it.
I think actually it's a good idea, but, just more people, more people, more people.
It's gonna really be a issue during football season. I tell you right now, because we're gonna get complaints.
They're just gonna blow through it.
Yeah, because it's gonna take that much longer to get down through there. And if you've been to that area during football season, and especially if it's a really good team or whatever, the Bronx have a good team. I mean, there's a lot of cars. And so just getting out of there, I can just see there being an issue now, traffic.
I've been going to football games for,
So you'd
40 for
behoove,
40
it'd behoove
years,
you to
yes.
not go down 18th, actually just go right down, Ocotillo there,
Right, park on the
Um,
side.
so.
yeah, I know it's busy, but that's life.
Yeah.
It's good to see all those people in one place. I know the Lions Club made a lot of money selling hot dogs, hamburgers, and soda pop. We do $2,000 and more and nothing over $4 at a 2-hour football game.
But people will figure it out. They'll make a left at the skate park instead and go out that way and.
But we're gone now, no more Lions Club.
All right, that's all I got.
Perfect.
Close us out.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Me and Jordan.
Adjourned. I second
Fine
all of
job,
that.
Byron.